What's up, core reporters? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, we've all seen that horrifying hotel video depicting P. Diddy chasing his ex-girlfriend Cassie down the hotel hallway in his underwear and a towel as she was trying to escape from his vicious abuse. And when he caught up to her, he savagely beat her and stomped on her. Okay, so CNN was the one that leaked the video. They obtained the exclusive rights to it. In fact, I believe that video, because we now know that P. Diddy paid $50,000 to buy it from the hotel so that it would never see the light of day. I believe that he kept it in his home, sorry about that, and that it was discovered amidst the raid. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security famously raided Diddy's homes in Miami and in Beverly Hills. And obviously, when you raid, you go out there and you get as much content as you can. And so guess what content they got? It's no coincidence that all of a sudden this video that was taped back in 2016 from the hotel security cameras is now seeing the light of day now that his home has been raided, right? So his former assistant actually hopped on over to CNN to give her side of things and what she may or may not have witnessed while she was working for P. Diddy. Let's take a look at what it is that she told CNN.
I want to bring someone in who knows Diddy personally. Suzi Siegel was his former assistant during the time that he began dating Cassie Ventura, the singer. And I should note, you became his assistant as a part of the reality show to work for him.
I did.
Everyone remembers watching that. What is it like for you to see this video that came out today?
I felt sick and I felt violently angry. And I felt like I'm sure a lot of men and women feel looking at that video that it's so disturbing that the video doesn't lie.
I mean, you know, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
I mean, that's terror. That's what you would do if there was a fire, right? You would just run out, grab what you could. So I can only imagine looking at that, the fear that she felt she had to get out of that room in bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant between 2008 and 2009, and they were dating when I worked for him.
And what was he like, and what did you observe about them at this time?
I observed nothing that would lead me to believe, or there was no scuttlebutt about it. I never saw him speak harshly to her or be abusive toward her or anything like that. I rode in the limos with them. I went to parties with them. I guess what I would say is, even though I never saw anything that could corroborate what's in that lawsuit and what we just saw, there was not one cell in my body that was surprised.
So I think it's interesting that she's not surprised by anything, although she never saw anything. Like, she's saying that like she had an intuition, but like the idea that she never saw anything is very interesting to me, because like people who were interns at Bad Boy Records saw things. Like, they knew about the freak offs and all sorts of other things that Cassie alleged in her lawsuit. And they were like low-level employees. They were like interns. And this woman was a personal assistant, a senior level personal executive assistant. And she wasn't privy to anything. Sorry, but I have a hard time believing that, especially with as much time as personal assistants spend around these celebrities. I feel like there's more to the story than she is letting on. And let's continue on to see what else she had to say. But so far, I got to be honest, I'm not sure I'm buying that she had no inkling about anything here.
Not.
You know, it's going to sound a little bit weird because I don't have any facts, right? And nobody's going to call me to testify. But I would say that it's woman's intuition. I would say that I was around him a lot and I got a feeling for who he was. I didn't see anything that could get him in trouble. But I think that the power dynamic in a situation like that, especially her at the beginning of her career, so young and beautiful and talented, and she hooked herself or became involved with somebody who had so much power. And I felt that working for him. I'm sure the whole team felt that. And I mean, that's great. He's a mogul. So of course he's the big boss. But I think that you could imagine, certainly in my interactions with him, you could imagine how that would dissipate and sort of seep into every aspect of his life and especially his relationships.
Yeah, because I mean, she was 19, I believe, and he was 37 when they.
The idea that this man was pushing 40, like middle age, right? Dating a 19-year-old. Men don't get enough flack for this. Like, it's really disturbing. It's really disgusting that these old grown men are out here preying on teenage girls, especially the rich men. And I feel like people need to look into Leonardo DiCaprio a little bit more, because this is a persistent thing for him. He can never have a relationship last more than a year or two, or if even that, right? Most of them are monthly things. And he's like, what, 50 years old? And he's still with women who are younger than 25. 25 is his cutoff. That is creepy. That is predatory. That is disgusting. And that, in my opinion, is an example of an abusive personality. You do not want to be with a fully formed grown woman, not because they are less attractive than, younger women or teenagers or whatever, but because you, in my opinion, are an abusive person, and it's much more difficult for someone who is severely younger than you, your old ass, to escape your abuse than someone your own age, right? Someone with a fully functioning, fully formed frontal lobe and brain. They always go, oh, they're like hotter, they're like this, they're that. No. 30-year-old women are hot, 35-year-old women are hot, 40-year-old women are hot. We're not the ones balding. We're not the ones with these beer bellies. Stop it, okay? You want a younger woman because you know that you can abuse them a lot easier than you can abuse a woman your own age. This needs to be shamed a lot more than it currently is. It has been way too normalized. There is no reason for a 40-year-old man to be with a 19-year-old child, especially a rich one, who then becomes the boss of this child, and then who then controls her entire career.
They first began dating.
Right. So imagine how that would be. And then he's rich. And not only is he rich, but he controls your career. Mm-hmm. And all you want in your career, right, is she's an artist. She wants to make music. She really was an artist, is an artist. And now all of a sudden she's with somebody who could make that happen for her. And it doesn't happen.
So you don't, it wasn't anything specific. You got a strange, uncomfortable feeling from him?
I mean, I think it's more to do with the way that he treated people. Again, nobody was mistreated that I saw. I didn't feel mistreated, but it was very clear to me. Again, this is intuition.
How can things be clear to you when you're claiming nobody has been mistreated in your presence? It's just not adding up to me. It's a very big contradiction. Is she still bound by an NDA? Is that the reason why she's not able to really clearly, honestly talk about what's going on?
And right, this is what we pick up as women and humans who are smart and have been around. He just didn't see your humanity when he looked at you. It felt very obvious to me that everyone was just sort of there to be used, that he can get the most out of you. For example, I went to go work for him. I'm a pretty senior person. It was sort of an odd thing. I have a fancy master's degree, whatever, who cares? But it was, he wanted to get me for as cheaply as he could. And most people would just dive in and take it, right? Because you think that you're going to get something by working for him.
And I wonder how that video, which, he denied a lot these allegations, and those allegations were in the lawsuit. I mean, he's facing 5 other civil lawsuits that are accusing him of a range of sexual misconduct and illegal activity. Everyone remembers the raid at his homes in Miami and New York, where it was the part of the Department of Homeland Security that deals with human trafficking. Yep. And I should note, he hasn't been charged with anything. Of course. They've maintained that he hasn't done anything wrong. But, it must be really strange to see what we see now in black and white on that video, and to be someone who had worked for him.
Well, there you go. That's how you know that your intuition is right? I didn't see that proof. Obviously, I saw it with the rest of America today. But when I saw it, I knew that was something that he could be capable of. And
So you knew he was capable of dragging a woman down the hallway, stomping on her, throwing a vase at her, yet you never saw him behave in any kind of way, never saw him speak in a violent manner or just be super aggressive or anything like that. Sorry, but it's just not adding up. And she said, oh, nobody's going to come interview me. You know what, girl? I hope they come interview you and set you free from this NDA that obviously has you petrified to tell the truth, because what you sat up there and said on CNN does not make a lick of sense. Obviously, you were privy to some unscrupulous behavior, or else you would not be unsurprised that your former boss, that you were a personal assistant to, was caught stomping on, beating, and dragging his girlfriend. It just doesn't make any sense. I was shocked seeing all that. And I read the lawsuit, and I've never been around Diddy. So the fact that you were not shocked, it means, and I've heard the stories about Diddy being a terrible person, but seeing that was shocking to me nonetheless. I'm still not over it, you know? But for her, it's like, oh yeah, like, of course he did that. Yet, you know what? He never gave me an inkling that he was capable of doing it. Which is it, Suzi Siegel?
He's a genius. He's brilliant. He's one of the best minds I've ever been around.
He's demonic.
But I think when the power differential is so awful and you just can get away with anything that you want.
So there you go. He knew he can get away with murder, and he almost did. Guys, how do you feel about this assistant's take on everything? Like, were you kind of like a little bit like lost hearing her say that like he seemed like a nice person, he never did anything bad in front of her, yet she wasn't shocked that he was out there beating up and stomping on his girlfriend? Let me know what you think. Okay, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. I will be talking to some of my lawyer friends here on YouTube to get a legal perspective on some of the repercussions that can come out from this video. I know the LAPD said that it's too late for them to charge or investigate Diddy, but trust and believe, this video most likely came out as a symptom of the raid and is going to lead to bigger things. And I'm also curious about what's going to happen to the hotel, the liability of the hotel for selling this video to Diddy instead of acting, you know, appropriately in the face of domestic violence. In the meantime, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.